Good morning. Thank you for joining us for PCG's CEO Insights presentation. Before we get started, I would like to bring your attention to and ask you to read the forward-looking statements disclosure. This disclosure is a permanent part of this presentation and provides valuable information about statements made by today's featured company. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce Soligenix Inc. Soligenix is a development stage company advancing 2 late-stage phase 3 clinical trials. The company is also developing promising vaccine technology through its Public Health Solutions business segment. Joining us for today's presentation is Chris Schaber, PhD and CEO of Soligenix. Good morning, Chris. It's great to have you with us. Chris, your fiscal year 2019 was an extraordinary period of clinical advances for Soligenix. 2 phase 3 trials nearing completion, a public health solutions business segment ramping up multiple vaccines and therapeutic programs. And last month, you announced an agreement with Boston Scientific for its Covaxin HT novel vaccine adjuvant for COVID-19. Those are each significant milestones. But as you know, investors in the biotech sector are always looking ahead. In that respect, can you highlight where you think Soligenix catalyst potential rests in the next few quarters that may drive shareholder value?
That's a very good question, Kerry. We look at the Soligenix pipeline advancements in 2019. Those efforts have now positioned the company for potentially transformational achievements in 2020, even in the face of the worldwide pandemic. Just this past March, we announced positive statistically significant primary endpoint results with our first pivotal phase 3 study of SGX-301 for the treatment of cutaneous T-cell lymphoma, or CTCL, which is an important accomplishment. Unfortunately, this exciting news came at the height of the U.S. concern surrounding the COVID-19 outbreak. Nonetheless, we continue to move forward, announcing expansion of our development collaboration with the University of Hawaii in pursuit of a heat-stable COVID-19 vaccine, which we call CyVax. This was followed by a licensing agreement with Boston Scientific for its Covaxin HT novel vaccine adjuvant for CyVax in April. We then continued that positive momentum by announcing highly statistically significant follow-on results from the CTCL phase 3 study. So we have executed at a high level in the first half of 2020 and have achieved some very important milestones. As we now look to the second half of the year, we are focused on building on this positive momentum, not only in advancing our vaccine programs, but in completing and announcing top-line results from our other phase 3 pivotal study with SGX-942 in the treatment of oral mucositis in patients with head and neck cancer. With the programs outlined, Soligenix has the potential to provide shareholder value by developing on multiple potential catalysts across our robust rare disease pipeline. I truly believe the best is yet to come in the second half of 2020.
Great. That's excellent, Chris. You brought up your recently announced licensing agreement with Boston Scientific. Your share price rallied substantially on the news as investors apparently recognized multiple opportunities for the assets included in the licensing agreement. Can you explain how this new asset positions Soligenix to capitalize on vaccine opportunities beyond the current COVID-19 treatment market?
The agreement with Boston Scientific was for a novel adjuvant which we envision augmenting our existing vaccine platform, not only with our COVID-19 vaccine, but also in the context of pandemic flu and the need for the strategic national stockpile to have key components for vaccines available. As we all know, the need to rapidly develop a vaccine for use worldwide is very challenging. Certainly, no single vaccine technology will be appropriate for all subpopulations, for example, the immunocompromised. Nor will it be able to provide enough doses to cover all populations worldwide. The Soligenix vaccine platform is based on a protein vaccine platform which provides a gold standard in terms of vaccine safety, especially for immunocompromised and elderly patients. The use of the Covaxin adjuvant allows us to leverage the safety of our platform with strong immunogenic potential, as well as the potential for rapid scale-up, and we believe this has the potential to be a strong vaccine candidate. Finally, it is important to note that while many vaccines require cold storage and shipment, complicating logistics, especially in the context of rapid rollouts, the Soligenix vaccine platform, including Covaxin, is compatible with our Thermovax thermostabilization technology, allowing ambient shipping and storage to temperatures as high as 40 degrees Celsius or 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Any data generated in the context of COVID-19 will also further support use of the vaccine platform and the adjuvant in the context of both pandemic flu and the strategic national stockpile.
Interesting. So, with several biotech companies claiming they're close to developing an effective vaccine for COVID-19, the technology can be adaptable. In other words, can Soligenix provide the secret sauce to a final vaccine no matter who develops it?
Well, certainly the Covaxin adjuvant has broader applicability outside of our protein vaccine platform. And while we see a number of advantages for our own platform, there's the possibility of further utilizing the adjuvant in other vaccines as well as needed. The Covaxin adjuvant is able to stimulate both antibody and cell-mediated immunity, that is, both arms of the adaptive immune system, and particularly to stimulate Th1 immunity. It is important to note that Th1 immunity is believed to be particularly important in the context of COVID-19 vaccines.
Final question. Soligenix recently reported the 12-week data from the SGX301 trial targeting cutaneous T-cell lymphoma. That was impressive and, more importantly, statistically significant compared to previous interim data. Putting the data into perspective, what kind of feedback are you getting from clinicians on SGX301? And do you envision it becoming the new standard of care for first-line therapy?
We're actually in the process of conducting primary market research with CTCL clinicians, and the feedback we've received so far is very positive. In general, clinicians see a need for additional treatment options with fewer side effects, especially for first-line treatment. They like the safety profile of SGX301 and view its efficacy as better than equal to the existing therapies. What we are hearing is that SGX301 would potentially be used for all patients that have greater than a few % body surface area involvement. Clinicians are telling us that SGX301 could be an appropriate option to consider for a large portion of early-stage patients, which is obviously nice to hear.
Chris, thank you for joining us today. It's always a pleasure speaking with you. Clearly, Soligenix is facing a potentially transformative period as multiple catalysts may be lined up through the remainder of the year. Good luck with those initiatives. I hope you'll come back and update us. And a note to our viewers, this presentation in its entirety can be found on our website at pcgadvisory.com. This concludes today's feature presentation.